Broadview is a small community located 15 miles geographically west of downtown Chicago. It sits in between O'Hare and Midway Airport, and it is 2.2 square miles.
It has a population of 8,000 to 8,500 residents in it. It is a diverse community. Broadview is a balanced community, and when we say balance, I'm talking about industrial, commercial, and residential.
I think we have an excellent police department, an excellent fire department, and the park district right now, we have a wonderful park director. It's never been as good as it is right now.
Housing is great in Broadview. We have great schools. Broadview has had its first black mayor, Mayor Sherman C, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of that administration.
After 30 years of residing in the village of Broadview, I have never seen a mayor with so much passion and determination. I say to improve, the village of Broadview.
He has a brilliant mind. This is something that I've known about for 40-some odd years, simply because we grew up right around the corner from one another.
And the mayor have done an awesome job in the past few years, turning the village around.
Mayor Jones has really brought us a long way.
Well, back in 2009, the current situation back then was pretty much a community divided. And when I say that, I'm saying that we have probably four governing bodies in the village of Broadview. We have the village of Broadview itself is one entity. We have the library, that's another entity. We have the park district, that's another entity, and we have the school district. So we have four districts that I'm aware of in the village of Broadview, and they were all separate because they're responsible for their own budget and taking care of their own business within the community.
I just think things were going on that I don't think the people that were in charge, I think they did the best they could. But then again, you got to look at the decisions that they were making. When some people are in a position for a very, very long time, I think they get comfortable. And they really don't go out and talk to everybody, or they don't go out and see what's really going on.
It was no collaboration, no partnerships, no one working together.
I came back approximately 10 years ago, and that being said, I was just kind of shocked to see the condition that the village had fallen into, or at least the state, in terms of the disrepair and being on the verge of blight and some other issues.
What we saw was a community in which we grew up in that was being decimated, and the economy affected it, as well as the prior leadership affected it.
Well, I think there was no vision. Wherever there's vision, there will always be success. The people around you have to see what you see and see what you miss.
He walked into, as we would say in western Nebraska, a pile of manure.
When we looked around and saw the garbage, we looked around and we saw the businesses, or the lack thereof. We looked around and saw that my parents were paying for services such as garbage pickup, and it wasn't being done. We looked at the high crime in the community and did not see the police officers.
Wow. Well, I'll give you an example. Even the department that I took over, Public Works, an observation of the employees for probably 3 years, I noticed that there was no accountability. I noticed that there was no one of any real responsible authority in charge, and you could tell by the way that the crew would sometimes sit for 2 and 3 hours on a resident's front porch step and kind of waste the day away. And as a taxpayer, that concerned me more than anything else. But there was also just a reckless attitude, most certainly as it related to individuals outside of the community that would have to come into the community for whatever business. People doing remodeling work with no regards for the permit process, and and the registration and just some of the other things that would create a hard copy evidence in case something went wrong in the future. Who is the individual that I need to chase down, because we just had a sewer put in the street and all of a sudden a year later it's collapsing all over again.
I worked here under the previous administration prior to Sherman Jones, that the atmosphere here was not as open as it currently is. And what I mean by that, not as approachable to different positions. And that even includes the mayor at that time.
What Mayor Jones did, which I thought was great, is he brought everybody together. And when I say that, the Village of Broadview is now working with the grade schools. The Village of Broadview is now working with the library and the Park District, because this is one community. We're not a separate community. So he brought us together under one umbrella. And the thing that I really liked about Mayor Jones when he asked me to take this appointment to be the building commissioner is that he said, David, this is about Broadview. This is not about me, it's not about you, it's about Broadview. It's about the residents and the citizens of Broadview. And that is what brought us together and brought me where I am today. I know that a lot of his decisions that he makes to some don't seem favorable, but I can tell you this, all his decisions are based on what he thinks is best for Broadview. It's not for his personal gain. It's not for political connections, because we are not politicians. We didn't get in this because we're politicians. We all come from different industries in life, professional industries. Mayor Jones works at the post office. I came out of corporate America. Our public works director, Matthew Ames, he was a developer, or is a developer. We have the police chief. He's retired from the state troopers. And our fire chief has been with the Broadview Fire Department for some time. So we, as far as I know, had no initial political ambition.
A true professional, a true person that knows how to turn things around. He's great working with through partnerships, collaborations, and we've never had that type of relationship with the municipality. As you look at the schools, the library, the park district, and the municipality is our umbrella. We're just the branches. And he's brought all of that together.
One of the big differences is there's a lot more transparency under this administration. They really get out and let the people know what's going on at the village, both from a financial perspective and in general of every aspect of the village administration.
So one of the things that Jones has been able to do, Mayor has been able to do, is to bring people together and to see what he sees. Before that, I don't think there was a collective agreement on the direction that Broadview should go. I'm a visionary, and visionaries always are in tune with other visionaries. So I love Mayor's vision for Broadview.
I've seen him exercise his authority with just consideration for individuals that hold him in high esteem and individuals that really despise him.
I find Sherman to be an open-minded person. He really hears you out, and his focus is moving the village forward. Also improving the service that we provide for our residents as well as our vendors.
It's changed tremendously. It's like a 360 turnaround. We've implemented some good things at the Park District, being more inviting to our community, implement new parks, recording studios, urban gardens. As it relates to the village, they implemented a garbage control where it looks nice and uniform throughout the village, so that's a huge plus. You know, keeping up with the potholes, making sure our streets are safe, making sure we have safe water.
When he came in, he brought in a breath of fresh air. He had new ideas, he had a different approach to things, a new look, and you could see the changes in the community. I mean, just from the garbage can, something so little as that is so huge, especially when I go into LaGrange Park or into other communities, and you see how our garbage looks, and it's nice. I mean, it doesn't look like it's all over our yards anymore. It's so uniformed, and it just makes our presentation look better.
Accountability. Holding everybody accountable. Including myself, and probably more so me and some other individuals that he may have close connections to, simply because there is no favoritism. There is just consideration. So to see the police department finally become accountable, and some other departments, and most certainly one of the big things that I'm excited about, not only as a department head but as a tax-paying resident, is to see the village trending in the right direction financially.
Well, when you talk about how you do that, he got the right peoples in place in the finance department. Peoples that know what they're doing to alleviate some things and to bring, so they have balanced the budget, whereas the budget, we was negative, but now, we back on track, and we see monies coming in. I mean, from everywhere, the monies are coming in. Our police department is bringing in money. The building department. We got a lady in here who is she's like the judge. Handling cases here, things like that. And the revenue that's coming in because they're on their job. Violations and things of them things. We ain't letting people in this community just go and throw trash around or do things, without getting fined for it or get a warning for it, and things like that. So the revenue is really coming in now, that's bringing us out, from the from the red to the black,
Sherman Jones, the mayor, is constantly looking for additional revenue streams. And you got to look for revenue streams that are long-term and not short-term.
All of a sudden, we have a surplus, something that's not occurred in, I believe, 13 years.
Okay, now there's a couple different things. There's a debt and a deficit. And the deficit essentially is looking at a year, how much do you take in, how much do you spend? Over the last administration, but prior to the current one, that deficit continued to grow. And when the mayor came in, one of the first things he did was step back and look at all of the places the village was expending funds, and then looked at the needs of the village. And then we sat back and said, okay, to meet those needs, what do we need to do? Well, the biggest problem we came up with was our expenses were consistently greater than the revenues that we were taking in. By holding expenses in check and trying to go out and increase the revenues, we've been able to reverse that trend. So instead of having year after year of annual deficits that dig us deeper in the hole, we've made that turn, and last year we had our first surplus, and we have a much larger surplus scheduled for this year.
And here we are today, 2012, and again, he's done some great things, i.e. balanced the budget. He settled, we had pending lawsuits. I think we have less than 5 lawsuits right now remaining. 3, okay, there we go.
He's probably one of the most frugal individuals that I know. And I think at this moment in time for the village of Broadview, that is one of the characteristics that's needed in a mayor or a presiding officer, somebody to move the village forward.
I've watched new businesses coming in to Broadview for example, on the corner of a half a block from my house, there used to be it was closed up. It was a vacuum Kirby vacuum dealership and it was all closed up. Now there's a nice restaurant there. I'm in the insurance business. I work with Chicago Public Schools in the state of Illinois and so forth. But I'm seeing things happening around here that are exciting. The vision that the mayor has on the whole development of Roosevelt Road, you're seeing it happen. You're seeing lots cleaned up, and as it relates to that, you know, this is a place to be. I mean, literally, this is a place to be. You've got the development of new businesses. You've got the whole development of Roosevelt Road. This is a place to be, to get in and buy property, because this thing, it's going to appreciate as long as this mayor's moving.
We can't do it with a small community like this and not make it work. You know, when we get grants, we share the resources. We recycle our dollars by helping each other. You know, things that we do at the Park District, we take it back, maybe to Public Works to work on our vehicles, but instead of we paying an auto body shop that's not in our community, the money go back to the Village of Broadview. We pay them for our services. And it's recycling dollars. It don't work if you don't do that.
Numerous new businesses have come into town, and when I say that, I can't keep up with them. And then we do have big businesses that has also come into town.
The riverfront that he's talking about building, just the growth, the moving of businesses into larger businesses, it's just a wonderful vision for the people of that area.
He is promoting business in the Village of Broadview. We want to recycle our dollars in the Village of Broadview. He's inviting businesses to come to Broadview. He's meeting with business owners and developers and entrepreneurs, asking them to come to Broadview and showing them what Broadview has to offer. Some of the new businesses that have come to Broadview, we have LA Fitness that's in the community now that wasn't. We have Ashley Furniture that's in the community that was not here before. Those are just some of the major businesses that have come to Broadview since 2009. Actually, there's probably over 50 businesses. Matter of fact, I know there's over 50 new businesses that have come to the Village of Broadview. Unique Auto. We have ATI Therapy. We have a industrial and commercial section in the Village of Broadview that is starting to fill up. Right now, I'm in negotiations with 2 or 3 restaurants, as well as the mayor, that are looking to come to Broadview. Major restaurant chains, Weight Watchers is coming to Broadview. They will be here in the next 60 to 90 days. O'Reilly Auto Parts is coming to Broadview, and those are just 2 off the top of my head that I know that have actually committed to coming to Broadview.
There's a lot of new businesses in over there, and we got a Pizza Hut just now went in, and we're looking to bring in some more, you know.
I think, you know, Sherman Jones is the first mayor that I've ever talked to in any of the villages that we've worked in. He seems to be proactive about the business community, and he had the meeting, maybe it was a couple years ago, at the Village Hall, and I was kind of impressed with all that.
Sherman Jones is a very progressive mayor. He's very pro-business. He wants to make this a better town and keep it as nice a town as it is. I met him, I went to see him the week after he got elected and introduced myself, said, I'm here to help this town any way I can. I got a major investment here, so I'm not just being a nice guy. What I'm trying to do is make it a better town, make it a safer town, and that's what he's doing. It's safe, it's a very well-managed city. He's diversified all of his people, and he's kept the town safe, and that's what I love about him.
Broadview is a great opportunity because it's right on the edge of the city. We've got a lot of migration of companies moving out of the city west. We've got some good, solid manufacturing type buildings that offer people who need heavy power, lots of parking, and basically a good environment to do business in.
He grew up here in Broadview. Anytime I've talked to him, he comes up with some great ideas. I see the improvement in the police department with the new SUVs and the Hummer and the vehicles. So he's running a surplus. This is what we want, especially in economic times. If he's running a surplus in these kind of times, he must be doing a great job.
We have always found Broadview to be a good magnet for industrial users, small manufacturers, small distributors. We've been able to sell the Broadview location. They can get on and off the Eisenhower if you have distributors. People are working in the heating, ventilating business, food distributors. This is the best location in the entire Chicago area. And even during the recession, we've still been able to attract people because of the location.
It's centrally located, it has a lot of pluses, and he's over here promoting those pluses, you know? And I mean, if you look at the businesses that we have here that are coming here, you know, they're coming here to Cook County and they're coming here to Broadview to start their business.
Most businesses are appreciative of being here just simply because of the location and the convenience of the location. Like I said, proximity to the highways and so forth and so on. It's also been my experience that many of the business leaders here in the community see Mayor Jones as a reformer, somebody that was needed.
I think one of the greatest service that we have provided since coming into office is helping the seniors with snow and ice removal. That has really escalated. And what I mean by that, in the beginning, we had a shorter list. But of course, as word got around, that list has really grown. Public Works can't get there the day of the snow, but definitely they do get to their homes. So I think that is really big.
I love Broadview. I'm here 52 years. It's a very nice town. I just love it that this mayor is helping us seniors, like with the snow removal. You know, that helps a lot. Well, and he's trying to get, you know, little coffee shops or restaurants here. We love him. He's very good. He's trying to make the town better.
But I think he's a good mayor, and I think he should be re-elected.
I think Broadview is a terrific suburb. Yeah, people are very friendly. Yeah, and we seem to be doing well in our economy. Mayor Jones seems to be doing very well now. He's meeting with the seniors in here at the village, at the Park District, and he's explaining the programs as he's putting through.
Resident of Broadview for over 30 years. The village has been very good to us. We do have some improvements over what the last mayor had put in. Water reclamation, getting trees and brush cut and picked up. That kind of stuff is real important to me because I do a lot of gardening and yard work and that kind of stuff. So I appreciate them coming to take care of that kind of work. Businesses coming and going. The bad ones going out, the good ones coming in. That's a good thing.
Mayor Jones. First, I didn't like that sucker. And I told him at the first village meeting that I did not like him and I did not vote for him. But that he was mayor and I was going to give him a chance. And I did tell him that at the village meeting. And since he's been in, I've seen some improvement. I begin to like this man. I wanted to say sucker, but I won't say that. But I do like the man now. I respect him, and I think he's doing a good job for the village. If all our board members, all our trustees on the village would be in appliance and learn their jobs, then I think things would be better at the village meetings. I like the security in Broadview. The police department do a fantastic job. I like the response that I got when my husband had a heart attack at our home and I called the paramedics. They were right there. And I love that about them. I love the Department of Streets and Sanitation and the building department. Every department up under this village has really been fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about any improvements that they can make because I think they're doing a wonderful job in the first place.
The future of Broadview is already looking bright. We are setting the waves and making trends come to pass. Working with Mayor Jones, we've implemented community garden where the village had gave us the land to implement those things so that we can have healthy fruits and vegetables in our community. Working to make sure our playgrounds are safe. We have a new police chief who's very community oriented, and that's so important to make our community work and have less crimes take place in our village. The police department has been doing tremendous things as it relates to ticketing those that's not community residents that violate our public safety as it relates to stop signs, the lights, speed, and those types of things. So things are changing.
I see Broadview just like I look at Oak Brook, some of the other great, the neighboring towns that has succeeded.
As the building commissioner, every day I'm meeting with developers. Every day I'm meeting with new business owners. Every day I'm meeting with residents that are looking to come to a healthy, vibrant community. And we are a healthy, vibrant, thriving community in this economy.
I'm just proud, very proud of what the community's doing. With him as the mayor, I don't think these opportunities and where this village is going in the future would be happening today.
I see a multicultural community. I think just simply because of the location of Broadview, it has no choice under the right leadership but to become a Mecca.
He's a visionary, and he's got a picture in his mind of where Broadview is going, and he paints it very well. That's what a leader does, and he has kept his. I've been in business and in leadership roles, and when you take a leadership role and you get things done when everybody's when there's a negative synergy happening and you get it done, you're good. And I can follow a leader like that, and I don't follow leaders very well. I really see that I see through the development of Roosevelt Road, the development of bringing in other businesses, I see an increase with the mayor's plan, an increase of businesses, jobs, and revenue. I mean, that's what's going to happen here, which helps. And then with the increase of jobs, revenue, you get an increase of property values.
The future with this mayor looks real bright. We're 20 minutes from downtown Chicago. Train tracks on the back of it, expressway near it. It has so much potential, but again, I go back to saying it's going to take people around him to see what he sees and sees what he misses. It has the potential of being probably one of the greatest communities in Illinois. It will take his leadership, but it also will take followership.